Every single day, the average person makes thousands of decisions. Most of them aren't based on logic. They are based on fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of losing money, fear of growing old, fear of death. And here's the surprising part. According to Sri Krishna, none of these were ever supposed to control your life. In fact, there is one fear that Sri Krishna wanted you to leave before or behind forever. And once you understand why, you will never look at your worries the same way again. Think about your last 7 days. How many times did you stay silent because you feared someone's opinion? How many opportunities did you postpone because the timing didn't feel perfect? How many nights did you replay conversations that already ended? Studies suggest that a huge percentage of what we worry about never actually happens. Yet anxiety keeps stealing today's peace for tomorrow's imaginary problems. You check your phone dozens of times, refresh emails, compare yourself on social media, wonder if you're falling behind. Your body is sitting here, but your mind is living in a future that doesn't exist. And that's exhausting actually. The strange thing is, this isn't a modern problem. Thousands of years ago, a warrior stood on a battlefield, unable to move because fear had taken over. His name was Arjun, and what Krishna told him wasn't just war, it was for every anxious mind that would ever exist. The Bhagavad Gita has guided millions of people for over 2000 years. Leaders, scientists, monks, artists, ordinary people carrying extraordinary burdens. Not because it teaches people how to escape life, but because it teaches them how to meet life without fear. Imagine someone insults your job. Immediately, your heart beats faster. Why? Because somewhere inside you started believing, I am my job. Lose the job, and it feels like you have lost yourself. Sri Krishna challenges this completely. He reminds Arjun, you are not merely the changing roles you play. You are not just your success, not your appearance, not your bank account, not your followers. Those things keep on changing in a continuous state of flux. Your deeper self doesn't know. Think about actors. They play roles. They play heroes, villains, kings, beggars. But when the movie ends, they leave the costume behind. Sri Krishna says life works the same way. The problem begins when we forget we are wearing a costume. The next time something hurts your ego, ask yourself this simple question. Did this threaten who I truly am, or only the role I am playing? That single question creates distance between you and fear. But identity isn't the only thing fear attaches to. It also clings to outcomes. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, protect it, give it sunlight. Can you force it to grow overnight? The perfect answer is no. Yet that's exactly what many of us expect from life. We work, then panic over results. Study, then panic over grades. Apply, then panic over interviews. Love, then panic over being loved back. Sri Krishna offered one of the most famous teachings in history. Focus on your actions, not your attachment to results. Notice this. He never says results don't matter. He says obsession with them creates suffering. Think about athletes. The best performers aren't constantly thinking about winning. They are fully absorbed in the next moment. That's where excellence lives. Ask yourself every morning, what is one action completely within my control today? Do that. Let tomorrow take care of tomorrow. Because another fear quietly grows beneath all others. Loss. Yes, fear of losing. This may sound very uncomfortable, but it can also be deeply freeing. Look around. Every season changes. Children grow, buildings age, phones become outdated, flowers bloom, then fade. Nothing in nature apologizes for changing. Yet we expect our lives to remain unchanged forever. Relationships, careers, health, money. When change finally arrives, we call it unfair. Shri Krishna calls it natural. He doesn't ask us not to love, he asks us not to cling. Think about holding sand. Grip tightly, it slips away. Hold gently, it stays longer. Life is much the same. Appreciate what you have without demanding that it stays forever. Because acceptance doesn't weaken love, it deepens it. And here is the eternal truth. Most people don't spend every day thinking about death, but they quietly shape their lives around avoiding it. They postpone dreams, avoid difficult conversations, delay forgiveness, wait for the perfect moment. Years pass, then decades. Sri Krishna teaches that the true self isn't destroyed by death. Whether you see that spiritually or simply as a reminder of life's impermanence, the message remains powerful. When you stop pretending life will last forever, you finally begin living today. Notice people who survive serious illness. Many say the same thing. They stop sweating small problems, not because life became easier, because they discovered what actually matters. So, if today were your last ordinary day, who would you call? Who would you forgive? What would you stop worrying about? What would you do to forgive somebody? Start from there. Let's say this is the last day. Think over it. Remember how we began. Most decisions aren't driven by wisdom, they are driven by fear. Sri Krishna never promised a life without uncertainty. He offered something greater, a mind that remains steady inside uncertainty. Fear loses power. When you remember who you are, fear loses power. When you focus on your actions, fear loses power. When you accept change and fear loses its final grip. When you begin living instead of merely surviving. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself one question. What fear has been making my decisions for me? Then imagine what your life might look like if it no longer had the final say, if this reflection brought you even a little more peace. Consider subscribing to Spiritual Veda. Every week we explore timeless wisdom that helps us live with greater clarity, courage, and compassion. Until next time, may your mind become a little quieter and your heart a little gentler.